One. Hey, guys, out to these Pelzer here, your voice manager, and I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. Super excited to bring you guys the Mompreneurs series from the speakers who were a part of the Mompreneurs Summit. Guys, if you have not done so already, make sure that you go and check out the whole series simply because, look, this has been an absolutely amazing opportunity. When I tell you that these ladies have brought it 150, 200%, they have definitely dropped some gems and had some mic drop moments during each and every episode. So I want you to go back, check those out, share them out with another mom that you may know. She may already be a mompreneur or she may be thinking about becoming a mompreneur. Either way, there is something in this series for her. Super excited about my guest today. Hello, Thea.
Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for having me. I am excited as well.
I'm excited to have you on. So Thea does a lot with working with women and domestic violence. And oh my goodness, when I think about where we are right now and what everyone is going through and the domestic violence piece of that being added to it, or even the child abuse piece added to it, man, it stretches far and wide. But before we get into all of that, Thea, let everyone know a little bit about yourself and then we'll dive into the topic.
Okay, thank you. So as LTB said, my name is Dorothea Robinson. I am an exit strategist. What is that? I assist women who are in intimate partner abusive relationships, also known as domestic violence. I help and assist them to get to safety safely. I write plans for them to get out so that they can live their calling in this life, not the next life, this life. It's unfortunate that in the climate in which it is that we live, there's an uptick of domestic violence, just abuse in general. And so I've been quite busy with phone calls, receiving them, trying to, get that perfect plan so that they can get to safety. I also am an author. I have eight published books. I am a speaker, yes, and I want to say international speaker because I have had the pleasure of traveling via the internet, having speaking opportunities in Sierra Leone. I'm also a mom of 6. I am a survivor as well. And I'm just excited to be here because I just want to be able to share that anything and everything is possible to get free from your current situations, no matter what they look like, to arrive at your destination, getting to the end result. It can be done. And so platforms such as this, I'm so thankful for because this allows the audience to know that you're not alone, that the thoughts that you're thinking, you're not alone. And guess what? You have dreams. You have dreams to be achieved. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to help you understand, no matter what it looks like, you can achieve your dreams.
Oh my goodness, you hit the nail on the head with that one. And so let's start it out. What is a mom story that has impacted your business?
My personal story, my mom's story is when I was younger, my mother used to take me to school. I had the privilege of being able to attend a private school. And so the school was about, I want to say maybe 15 to 20 miles away from my home. And so there were other students who lived in my area who attended the school. So my mother, without even realizing it until a few years ago, my mother was an entrepreneur. I watched my mother create fees. I watched my mother go around and pick up the kids who went to the school. My mother got paid every week, and she did this throughout the school year. She continued that, picking up kids, taking them to camp. And when I thought about it, I said, I watched my mom create a business out of a need that she saw other moms, parents go through. Mompreneur. And I was just floored. I said, I just took it for granted. My mother was just picking up the other classmates of mine and taking them to school, along for a ride, and hey, she charged them for gas. No, that's being an entrepreneur. And she happened to be my mom. So even though I know my mother did not consider herself an entrepreneur, but I know within her, because she did it, I'm going to create a business. I'm going to supplement my income, and I see a need, and I'm going to fulfill it, solving someone else's problems. So, for me, just I want to say within the last few years or so, did I recognize that? I just took it for granted. And so when you create and solve somebody else's problems, you create a product, you create a service, my mother picking up other kids and delivering them into school safely and having them return safely. My mother saw a need. She stepped up, she stepped in, put a price to it, a fee to it, and worked that thing out. So that was an inspiration to me, that Thea, you can do it. There's a need. Let's get going. And that's what my mom did.
Oh my goodness. She was the original Uber. Like, let's go.
Right? Right?
I absolutely love that. I think as mompreneurs, or when we think of the idea of being a mompreneur, there's so many that think I have to step into a realm of what's already out there or what's already popular. And that's not the case. There are many, many, many. And I'm going to put this out there because I know Thea personally. She's actually one of my clients, and I absolutely love her journey, but she's utilizing what she already knows and creating something amazing. In this time, what's going on with parents and moms? Guess what? They're actually about to be thrusted back into work and thrusted back into jobs, but their children's schools have already ended. And so I'm just going to go out there and throw it out there and throw her under the bus.
That's okay. Come on. I'm used to it.
Look, right? And because I see, sometimes we have to pivot. And that was the discussion that we were able to have early on, that, this quarantine shouldn't stop you. It should make you pivot. And pivoting means you need to, take a different direction. You need to look at your own storehouse, what it is that you have, which is what Thea just talked about with her mom. And you know what, Thea, let them know what I'm talking about. Give them a little bit of the detail.
Yes, ma'am. So, I have been hearing, I've been noticing, I've been listening and watching, being very, very attentive to some of the things that parents are going through. And the general consensus is, okay, I may have to go to work, but I am not comfortable at all having my child attend daycare, attend, summer camps. What does that look like with the possible uprise of another wave of COVID? They're not happy and they're not comfortable sending their children to, these places where children hang out during the summer. So I just happen to be a daycare owner. 6 wonderful, successful years, learned a lot. And in our discussion, as we always do, we write down our ideas. And it came across, now you have the information to teach and to train parents to become in-home daycare owners. What does that do? This does a couple of things. It creates a business where parents, moms can stay home, have their children attend the daycare, have their children at home, where a parent understands how they keep their homes, how they ensure that hand washing practices are done. They can monitor exactly how things are going on in their own home, where you don't have the ability to do that when you send your child to a daycare where there are many children and many things that they're exposed to and all of those things. So to satisfy the safety need that a mom may be going through when she has to face the decision about, I got to go to work. Like, I have to go to work. And maybe working at home is not an option at all. If they have to go to the physical brick and mortar building, what am I going to do with my child? Well, create your own business at home. Create an in-home daycare where you are watching your child. You know what goes on in your home, as well as you can market to other parents who may be in the neighborhood and have their child attend your daycare. So we're not talking about having 10 or 12 children in your home. No. For in-home daycare, the maximum in most states, I believe all states, is 6 children. That's a comfortable amount where you can closely monitor exactly who comes in, the practices that you use and you take in order for them to come in, make sure their clothes are off, and the things that you need to do to make sure that COVID is not affecting. But what a wonderful idea to be able to be home, create a business, a really successful business, have your child at home where you are monitoring and have the ability to offer another mom the security to have them understand that I'm going to make sure that we are safe here. It's just perfect timing. This is
right? That was perfect. Like, that was absolutely perfect. And when we were having the discussion, Speakeasy podcast listeners, you guys know that we do. I have a weekly accountability call. Like, we can set up the plan. We can put it in motion. We can get it out there. But some of us just need to go and look at what we already have in our hands.
Exactly.
How can I serve with what I already have in my hands? So I was excited about doing this particular episode because I know that many moms out there, before they even add the preneur on, just moms in general, who are really at a standstill. They're at a fork in the road. What do I do? How do I really shift this and make this attainable? And I was just like, man, with the wealth of information that Thea has, not only does she have the wealth of information with daycares, she has wealth of information when it comes to homeschooling. She homeschooled all her kids. Like, guys, no, tap into what you already have. And so, Speakeasy podcast listeners, I need you to make sure you are writing this down. What are your gifts? What are you good at? What are you the expert in? Like, don't hold back. This is a great time for you not to hold back, because it's that thing that can really shift what's going to progress you forward in the next 6 months. I mean, think about it. If you have one child outside of your child, and it's $200 a week, $150 a week, let's say $150, that's what, an extra $600 a month? That's just one child.
Absolutely.
You do 2 at the $150, that's an extra $1,200 a month. For some people, that's more than what they're making in a month.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to see the bigger picture, and it definitely does open up an opportunity for you to be able to help another mom who may be in need during this time as well. So that just blew my mind when we talk about mompreneurs and being able to serve, because we're all about serving over in World Voice League. So with that being said, where would you tell mompreneurs who right now in this space, or just a woman who's in this space and saying, you know what, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I don't know what direction to look in. What should be my starting point? What should be the first thing I should do?
Well, you said it. When we take for granted some of the things that we do. Some of us are excellent bakers, and some of us make an excellent lemon meringue pie that your grandmother taught you, and nobody else can make that lemon meringue pie. Start with what you have in your hands. What you take for granted, that ability to, I don't know, you know how to sign language. You know how to do ASL. Do you know and do you realize that although you know how to do that, you know how to have a conversation, there may be a mom who's looking for an after-school program virtually who wants to have education be poured into their child to learn something different, to learn another language. Well, you know how to sign. You can teach elementary ASL. You can teach how to hold a conversation in ASL, something that you do all the time without thinking. You just have the ability to do it. So your starting point is what you already have in your hand. That very thing that people continue to come to you about. Are you a good listener? Are you a good writer? Are you a good baker? Somebody always wants, now here we go. My mom made this Jewish apple cake. My mom, and thinking about it now, she had requests for that cake from all over, from everywhere. They always wanted that cake at their event or their party. My mother charged $25 and people paid for it. Why? Because it's what they wanted. They knew that it was good. They knew that the quality of that cake was going to be on point every time. And my mother made that cake like nobody else ever made it. What do you have in your hand? What do you have within you that you take for granted? Start by getting, here we go, get your pen and your paper and make a list. Make a list of things that you just do without thinking. Make a list of things that you love to do and are good at. Make another list of things that people always come to you for. You're already solving somebody's problems. You may be that good listener. You may be that mechanic. Yes, women get underneath of the hood and they can fix a car just like, their counterparts. What is the very thing that people come to you for? So where I am currently right now, as an advocate for women who are in DV relationships and IPV relationships, intimate partner abusive relationships. And through my journey and the connections that I have, I find myself answering questions about social media, about speaking, and the technology behind it. And I have gotten and grown to the point where people are coming to me for that. So I have developed classes and courses surrounding that because that is a need that people have and they come to me for. There is a need where it comes to advocates and they're speaking. And, now we are in a place where we're not out and about anymore as much. But there are ways that you can speak, such as this platform here, the Speakeasy podcast. There are ways for you, maybe having to think outside the box, that you can go ahead and do what you do and do it well and monetize it. We have the ability at times as women, can we be honest? We have the tendency to be nurturers, and that's not a problem. The problem comes in when we forget about ourselves, the information that we give, the time and energy. And as my coach, Alta B. Spells, always, time and energy always equal what? Money. We leave that portion out. Maybe because we don't think that we deserve it. Maybe because we think that we're not good enough. And maybe we just think, oh, it's just information. I'm just going to pass it along. No, everything you don't have to put $1 to. However, if we find ourselves as moms being the nurturers, being the ones to step in to solve somebody's problem, if we are doing it on a consistent basis and we are not looking out for how we price things correctly, we downplay our pricing and our fee. Yes, we do. We do. And the fact that, oh, well, I just know this information. Well, yeah, here, you can have it. We end up over-delivering and we leave ourselves out. So as mompreneurs, think about the starting place. But I also want you to think, and I'm going to end here, is the end result. Think about the end. What does that look like? What does your business look like? What would you like it to look like? What is your mission statement? And is your business moving you to a point where you are creating movement, impact, changing the world? We need to be thinking on those terms because we can. So when you look at the end result, you see the beautiful business that you would like it to be. Global change. Then work backwards. Because it's easier to climb down a hill than it is up a hill.
Come on now.
Look at the end and then work down.
That's it. You hit the nail on the head. And that's a valuable thing for us as we move into this new normal and whatever is going to happen within the next 3 months, 6 months, a year. We don't know, but it's definitely not going to be the way we went into 2020. And so we have to make some adjustments and pivot. This conversation can go on, guys. I'm telling you, man, we can knock it all out the park and get you right in your life on this particular episode. Yeah, let them know how they can reach out to you and also where they can find you online.
Sure. On Instagram, I am LADB Coach. That's L as in Larry, A, D as in David, V as in Victor Coach. Same for on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, Dorothea, Thea Robinson. If you just want to have a conversation, which is where I always like to start, you can reach me at bit.ly/talk with Thea. Whether it be you need to get out of a situation or you're not knowing whether or not you're in a DV situation, let's just have a conversation. And if you need to talk about anything else, reach out to me. I am a good listener. Thank you, LTVs.
It all starts with the conversation. I'm super excited. Listen, we want to know how this particular episode resonated with you, but by all means, come join the conversation and let us know. Leave us a review. Why? Because guess what? This is all for you. We want to see you shift and still be successful in 2020. With that being said, I'm thanking you personally as your host, out to these Pels, your voice manager, for joining us for this Mompreneur series. Guys, continue to make sure that you check it out, share it out. Thank you for all the reviews and comments. We definitely appreciate them. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.